News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Wednesday on Wall Street, where traders kept a lid on stocks and bonds because of some geopolitical worries. We're going to bring you all of that and the closing numbers. We do it for you each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 down 6 points. NASDAQ gained 19 points. The Dow down 289 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.2%. The 2-year yield at 3.64%. NYMEX crude oil now 5% higher, trading around $88 a barrel. Brent crude more than 5% higher, topping $92 a barrel. And Bitcoin is about 0.5% higher at $70,000. IEA countries have unanimously decided to launch the largest ever release of emergency oil stocks in the agency's history. IEA Executive Director Fatih Birol.
IEA countries will be making 400 million barrels of oil available. I repeat, 400 million barrels of oil available to the market to offset the supply lost through the effective closure of the strait.
Julian Lee is an oil strategist for Bloomberg News.
This kind of a situation is exactly what the Strategic Petroleum Reserves and indeed, to some extent, the International Energy Agency were created to deal with. A physical loss of supply on a very substantial scale.
Bloomberg's Julian Lee says the impact will depend on how quickly those reserves can be released. President Trump is preparing to invoke Cold War-era powers to pave the way for renewed oil production off the Southern California coast. Trump is set to summon authorities under the Defense Production Act to preempt state laws and ease permitting for Sable Offshore Corp., which is based in Houston. Sable Offshore is looking to restart production from a cluster of offshore platforms in California. Trump also facing heavy political pressure to tackle rising fuel prices ahead of the midterm elections. But he says the markets are holding up well.
I figured we'd be hit a little bit, but we were hit probably less than I thought, and we'll be back on track in a pretty short while. Prices are coming down very substantially. Oil will be coming down. That's just a matter of war. That happens you can almost predict it.
Trump was speaking to reporters at the Thermo Fisher Scientific plant in Cincinnati, Ohio. Iran has told regional intermediaries that for a ceasefire, the U.S. must guarantee that neither it nor Israel will strike the country in the future. Iran is particularly concerned Israel will attack again after the current war ends. Iranian officials want, quote, firm international guarantees against future aggression. The U.S. and Israel have sent mixed messages about their goals for the war in Iran. Goldman Sachs and Citigroup now telling staffers in Dubai to stay away from their offices as Iran's attacks on Gulf cities continue. Standard Chartered asks staff in the Dubai International Financial Center and nearby areas to leave their offices. Citigroup instructed employees to proceed to the nearest safe place away from the office and to work from home until further notice. The latest read on inflation before the Fed's next rate decision comes in right where they thought it would. Bloomberg's Michael McKee has the February Consumer Price Index.
The headline CPI up 0.3, which puts the year-over-year at 2.4%. No change from the month of January. The core is up by 0.2% as forecast. That's down a tick from January, and the year-over-year doesn't change, stays at 2.5%.
Bloomberg's Mike McKee reporting. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.